American-Born Chinese by Jean Luen Yang, color by Leick PN. American-Born Chinese is a graphic novel that details what it is like for someone of Chinese ancestry to grow up in a typical American environment. Jean Luen Yang ties his own Chinese culture, heritage, and life experiences into American-Born Chinese. American-Born Chinese is actually 3 novels or 3 stories woven together into one. This is what is called intertextuality. The term is taken from Desire and Language, a novel by Julia Kristeva. She says intertextuality is, quote, text speaking to and through each other, end quote. Scott McCloud says intertextuality is part of sequential art, and the reader must fill in and interpret the images in the panels. He additionally states that the reader must also understand and fill in the gutter or the space that comes between the panels. The first of the 3 stories is the tale of the Monkey King. The Monkey King rules Flower Fruit Mountain, and he lives in a fable-oriented land. He has mastered the arts of Kung Fu and all the heavenly disciplines. He wants to be treated like the other gods, but is rejected because he is a monkey. The story is based on a Chinese novel by Sun Wukong called Journey to the West. This first thread is a Chinese fable. Tzu lives in the heavens of the gods. He is the Chinese mythological equivalent to the creator of the universe and all creatures. Ultimately, he is the force behind all the characters in the book. He gives each of the characters the chance for freedom and redemption through acceptance of self and self-love. Wang Li So is a humble, egoless monk. He is the opposite of all the other characters. He gathers fruit and shares it with the homeless, and he doctors their wounds even when they abuse him. He is unselfish and loving towards everyone. He does good and tries to inspire others to do good too. The second thread in the novel, American-Born Chinese, is centered around the character Jin Wang. He is the Chinese-American protagonist who is a new student in an average American school. He feels that he is outside and searching for his place in this new school. He feels that he is shunned because he is Chinese and different. His best friend is Wei Chen Sun. Jin Wang's story is a realistic situation or problem. Wei Chen Sun, an immigrant from Taiwan, is the newest student in the school, and he is seeking a friend. He is shunned just as Jin is. In reality, he is an emissary of Tzu's and is the son of the Monkey King in human form. The third thread involves a socially accepted all-American boy named Danny. He is a good basketball player at Oliphant High School. He wants to continue to be accepted, but he continually has to transfer to new schools to escape the humiliation caused each year by his Chinese cousin, Qin Qi. He is actually Jin Wang's alter ego. This part of the story is a satire that parodies life in America for someone who is not the, quote, typical, quote, American. Danny's cousin is Qin Qi. He is the stereotypical Chinese male. He speaks Chinglish, a dialect that is a combination of Chinese and English. Qin Qi is from China, and he spends part of each school year going to school with Danny. Qin Qi's old world ways are a source of humiliation and embarrassment for Danny. The novel American-Born Chinese has allusions and references to Chinese life and culture. These elements also impact the American perspective of Chinese people. It is this that causes Jin Wang to feel that he does not fit in to his American environment. This frame is from the beginning of American-Born Chinese. The images are various gods, goddesses, demons, and spirits from Chinese culture. Using American-Born Chinese in the classroom will require researching the particular characters and references to Chinese culture. Within American-Born Chinese is an allusion to the novel Journey to the West by Wang Qingyan. It was written in the 16th century during the Ming Dynasty, and part of the tale of the Monkey King is taken from this fable. A third reference to Chinese culture within this novel is a reference to Ye Ming, a basketball player who stood 7 foot 6 inches tall. He was recruited to the United States to play as center for the Houston Rockets. This is woven into Danny's story in American-Born Chinese. A final reference to Chinese culture within the novel is this beverage called boba, or pearl milk tea. This beverage was created in a tea house in Taichung, Taiwan. It is made using tapioca, and the little gel beads settle to the bottom of the beverage. There are also allusions within the novel to American pop culture. If you were to teach this novel, you would have to review this with your students because some of these allusions are no longer relevant today. American-Born Chinese is frequently used for 9th grade literature courses. The first American reference is to a young man named William Hung, who performed on American Idol. Chin Key performs the very same song that William Hung did, and you will notice by the faces of the audience that they are not impressed. Neither Chin Key's nor William Hung's live performance was stellar, and both Chin Key and William Hung embody some 19th century Chinese stereotypes. Another reference in the novel is rice rocket. The term is actually a derogatory label that goes back to the 1960s. It was used to describe any Japanese or Asian-made motorcycle. Today it is any motorcycle or automobile that is descended from Asian-made vehicles. CO2 is the next reference, and he is a reference to God. In this particular frame, you will notice the white hair, the beard, the staff, and CO2 says, "I do not make mistakes, little monkey. A monkey I intended you to be. A monkey you are." CO2 is the creator of every living creature or living thing, every character within the novel. Just as CO2 is a reference to God, Wang Li So is a reference to Jesus. In American-Born Chinese, Wang Li So is the monk. And in these particular scenes from the novel, notice the images of Jesus, Mary, Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. And in this particular image is God the Father and the monk, Wang Li So. Additionally, there is a reference to the television show Everybody Loves Raymond. Raymond is no longer on television, but within American-Born Chinese, we have Everyone Loves Chin Key. And notice across the bottom of the screen, clap, 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 clap. This is actually a reference that this is a parody to a sitcom, and this is the canned response. In addition to the other references, we have a reference to the Transformers. Here are our characters, Jin and his friends, playing with their Transformers. It says, "Afterwards we would stage epic battles that left our toys smelling like spit." This is the cover of the American-Born Chinese novel, and this is how Jin would like to see himself, transforming into someone who is not American Chinese. A wise woman gives an allusion to Faust, a character in German legends who sells his soul to the devil so that he can acquire power and knowledge. When Jin Wang tells her he wants to be a transformer, she says, "It is easy to become anything you wish, so long as you're willing to forfeit your soul." Parodied with American-Born Chinese is also the perspective that non-Caucasians must be not born in the United States. Non-Caucasians are often viewed as recent immigrants. The first day that Jin is in his new school, his 3rd grade teacher introduces him to the class, saying, "He and his family recently moved to our neighborhood all the way from China." Jin replies, "San Francisco." The teacher then echoes, "San Francisco," and she is putting emphasis in there. Stereotyping is used throughout the story, and especially with the character Chin Key. Everything about him is stereotyped. His hair is fixed in the typical old world Chinese braid, the long braid of the traditional Chinese man. His luggage is actually Chinese takeout containers, and his clothing the kimono of the traditional Chinese. He is gregarious, cheerful, happy, outgoing, almost to the point of begging for attention. He speaks Chinglish, a dialect of poor English mixed with Chinese. He says, "Hello, America!" And notice at the bottom of this particular frame, the sitcom parody continues, ha ha ha, clap, clap, clap. The canned reaction to the audience. In most stereotyped Chinese views, people eat foods that are not standard American fare. One of the American characters on meeting Jin Wang says, "My mama says Chinese people eat dogs." And the teacher steps in saying, "Now be nice, Timmy. I'm sure Jin doesn't do that. In fact, Jin's family probably stopped that sort of thing as soon as they came to the United States." Fast forward. On the far right, we have our character Chin Ki, and notice what he has here. Chin Ki says, "Would Cousin Danny like to try Chin Ki's crispy fried cat gizzards with noodles?" And again, we have the canned response of the audience below. Ha, ha, ha. Stereotyping also takes place with our character Wei Chin Soon, who is actually from Taiwan. He is a recent immigrant, and within the novel, he approaches Jin and speaks to him. You will notice the little carrots on either side of the dialogue. This indicates that the character is actually speaking in Chinese. He says to Jin Wang, "Sorry to bother you, but you're Chinese, aren't you?" And ironically, Jin, who feels left out and rejected by his peers, responds to Wei Chin Soon with rejection. He says, "You're in America. Speak English." A final example of stereotyping is the idea that the Chinese are supposed to be good at science and math, and they are trained in the martial arts. The school teacher says, "The ulna is connected to the," and Chin Ki says, "Humulus." American-born Chinese theme focuses on finding out who you are and of self-discovery. It is a coming-of-age novel for our character Jin Wang. The monkey learns to be himself, and interestingly enough, at the end of the novel, he becomes a good little monkey, learning to accept himself as who he is. Danny, is actually Jin Wang's American self. Humorously, Chin Ki still calls him Danny, using the Chinese accent and reminding Danny that he is still, in fact, Chinese. This frame from the novel shows Jin Wang's various transformations as he changes from Jin Wang into Danny. American-born Chinese ends with all three threads being woven together and concluding with the characters accepting themselves as who they were created to be. American-born Chinese was well received and has received many awards and reviews. Bin Fu of Oxford University comments on the stereotyping portrayed in American-born Chinese. Quote, "That blatant stereotype that Chin Ki stands for has long denied Asians a place in American culture." End quote. Quote, "By using facial expressions and body gestures and by varying the angle of perspective, Yang provides information that goes beyond what the print text can offer. Yang is not only a brilliant storyteller, but a gifted cartoonist." And this is from the English Journal by James Blassingame, Jr. Publishers Weekly says, quote, "This much anticipated affecting story is more than just the story of a Chinese American childhood. It is a fable for every kid born into a body and life they wish they could escape." American-born Chinese is most often used in the 9th grade classroom, and Cheryl Gomes with James Bucky Carter published their results in the English Journal. They use the text with students who struggle with feeling different from their peers. Their students are high school resource students. This is my bibliography, and thank you.